Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to Conversations with Kim. I'm your host, Kim, and welcome to the village. This has been I feel like it's been longer than a week, but I know that's all it's been since I've been here with you all before. But I feel like it's been longer. But, it's just me this time, which is enough. How about that? And so we're going to be talking about letting people go. I need y'all to chime in because we've all had to let somebody go. We've all had to, separate ourselves from others. We've all had these situations. It's not necessarily negative, but it is a part of life, and it's something that we have to do. So I am counting on you all in the comment section to help me, to talk to me, to chime in, because we're going to have this interactive, because letting people go is definitely a life skill, right? I know it's a good topic, but I also struggled with it quite a bit because I didn't know how transparent to be. And I wasn't sure, if someone would think I was talking about them, which I'm not. But, I'm 54. How about that? So I got 54 years worth of letting people go and being let go. So I have a wealth of knowledge to pull from that I don't need to pull from anybody that think they might be on here, in their feelings. Anyway, so when we're talking about letting people go, we definitely need to be sure that we're talking about friendships and romantic on both sides. It's dramatic. It can be stressful on either side of the equation. So I don't want to just make it seem like I'm talking about just friends or some romantic situation. We always need to be able to have healthy boundaries on both sides, no matter what. When you're in this relationship, whether it is family, church, work, friends, whatever the situation is, both of you have to put value on the relationship. And because you put value on it, then that means that you're going to maintenance it. And I struggle with using this analogy, but we maintenance our cars. We maintenance different things that are important to us. We make sure that we go get our hair done, ladies. Guys, you get your hair tightened right. We maintenance things that are important to us. And so why not are we maintaining the relationships in our lives, whether, again, it's going to be a friendship, or it's going to be, some sort of a, intimate type relationship where you're trying to get to know someone. So in a relationship, before I start giving you my personal examples, because I do have a few, you just can't be selfish. If I'm in a relationship with you and we're friends, then if something's going on with me, I need to be able to have the freedom to share with you what's going on with me without judgment. Okay, I had a silence there for a reason. I need to be able to be transparent, be my authentic self, be Kim, and tell you that right there got on my nerves today at work. That right there, irritated me, made me upset, and not feel judged, but also have the truth of a friend to say, Kim, girl, you overreacting. But, let me get my stuff out first. Let me feel heard, and let me know that you are with me. Am I talking right, Audrey? Am I talking right, Francis? I'm just saying, I need to know that if I share something with you, that I have a safe space. How about that? I got a safe space to say what's in my heart without saying, well, you shouldn't feel like that. You can't tell me how to feel. You're not me. So we have to be able to be, to not be selfish. We have to be vulnerable in these relationships. And vulnerability is tough for some people. We all didn't grow up in the same situation. We didn't grow up in the same type environment. So vulnerability for you might be something really, really hard. Whereas for me, I'm all out there. I'm getting ready to let you know, where I am, how I am. And if I don't understand, I'm going to seek clarity. So my real friends notice about me. I'm going to have a conversation if I don't understand something. So we definitely need to be able to have that type of freedom when we're dealing with our relationships. I have learned that we have relationships out of convenience. What do I mean by that? I mean that we would not ordinarily choose each other to be friends if it wasn't for the fact that we work together, or our kids play with each other, or you're my neighbor next door. I wouldn't have picked you out of the millions of people in the world to be my friend. And if I move tomorrow, we probably not going to be friends. If our kids stop hanging out, we're not going to be friends. When I switch churches, we're not going to be friends. When I leave a job, we're not going to be friends. So those are, to me, relationships out of convenience. And we have to keep those in the right category to understand that they end. And it's not about really letting someone go per se, but it is about, moving on. They are not going to move with you. This was a relationship out of convenience. And we just happened to have some common interest at the time, but it wasn't enough to build something sustainable, if that makes sense, right? So there's another category of friend that you selected this person. You found this person and you said, oh my God, I really like this person. I don't know why, but I just really, really, really like, for the sake of words, Sally. I really like Sally. And so you and Sally start talking, and then you realize that Sally can be a little exhausting. Sally can be a little draining, and Sally can be a little needy. And so initially, if you're a person that likes to help others, then that right there doesn't, it doesn't turn on at first. But then after a while, you start feeling drained, you start feeling exhausted, and there's no exchange. That's like in communication. If we're talking and you're not talking back at me, then there's no dialogue happening. It's just me, going. So we need to be able to move forward together. That's right, Francis. We need to move forward together. And we need to be able to have an even exchange where, I can maybe add value to your life. You can add value to my life. And it may not necessarily be in the same arena. You might be very good at doing something, and then I do something else, and we just exchange those on a regular basis, but it still is a part of our friendship. But if you're in a place where you're always giving, it can be exhausting, and sooner or later you will understand that relationship may not be as healthy as you need it to be, and maybe need to refer that person to someone that might be able to help them and in the way that they need it. I do know that this has happened to me, that I've stayed in relationships, whether it was friendships or it was romantic, longer than what I should have, because I was thinking about the good times. I was thinking about the good times. Oh, we had such a good time, this time. We had such a good time that time. But the current situation right now, today, things are jacked up. It's messed up from the floor up. And I can't figure out why this back and forth keeps happening. So, we really need to be sure that we stay current in the relationships and not try to hang on to something that was, because the key word is, was. So let's talk about the signs of change when we see that things are getting ready to go to on a shift. So if I'm in a relationship with someone, whether it be a friend or romantic, and we continue to have disagreements, that is going to be a red flag for me, definitely. If every time we talk, we continue to, kind of bump heads a little bit, that's going to be a challenge. Like, and there's a lot of accusations going back and forth. Well, I don't understand this, and you just seem like this, that's a lot of energy that is not productive in that friendship. So if there's a lot of disagreements, definitely a red flag that, things are getting ready to shift. Also, and this happens, which I don't understand, if you're that close, how is it that all of a sudden you just ghost someone? Ghost. You're just gone. Poof. Gone. No rhyme, reason, no nothing. Gone. Poof. Gone. And so, that is another, clearly red flag that, that it's time to let somebody go. Clearly, they've already made the decision for you. And it's oftentimes it's painful because you thought things were made maybe a certain way, and then you realize that it's not. So, I don't know who has not been ghosted. I know I have, whether it's been on a friendship out of convenience, or even a romantic situation. Just ghost, gone. And then there's the one where it's awkward, right? It's not the fact that you all have had a disagreement. It's not the fact that you are upset with each other, but now your interactions are just awkward. You don't necessarily know what to talk about now. It's like you both have grown and you're two different people now, and whatever was that y'all had in common, that's gone. So now you have that awkwardness. So if I run into you at the store, you're like, hey, how you doing? Good. How you doing? Good to see you. How's your mom? Mom's great. Good to, oh my gosh. And tell your kids, whatever. It's all that fake surface conversation. Nothing really meaty, nothing really deep, but it's all that it's just awkward. And so already that y'all, both of y'all have left. At this point, it is really more for appearances, and no one has actually said anything, but it's pretty much a done deal. So for me, in 2019, I was purposeful in reaching out to people that I wanted to maintain and maintenance a relationship with. And, if I call you and I text you and, you didn't call back, or you didn't text back, and then, a couple more times, and then, I would talk to you, but it was kind of a weird type situation when we talked. It was getting to be exhausting to me, and that was a red flag for me. And so when I came into 2020, I left like 4 people in 2019. I mean, come on, y'all. I left like 4 people in 2019. Do they know it? I don't know if they know it or not, but the mere fact that we haven't communicated in 2020, it kind of like does it all by itself. Like it happened all by itself. So, and I'm okay with that. Clearly they are. And I know I did my due diligence to try to maintenance the relationship, but if not, I'm totally okay with it. And here we are in October, and nobody really has kind of, reached out on either side to say, hey, let's figure this out. Let's see what's going on. Nobody on both sides. I haven't, because I did that last year. And so I think that sometimes we get to the place where we really just have to, right, Audrey, be intentional and be purposeful about our relationships. And then, if the person is not reciprocating, then you have to accept their truth. I am a firm believer in accepting people for who they are and how they are. If I put conditions on you, then that means I need you to meet these qualifications in order for you to be my friend. I don't need you to meet qualifications. I just need you to be an active participant. And if you're going to be an active participant, then we all good in the neighborhood. We can do this thing, right? So when you have that person that that is a very, very good friend, and sometimes you don't talk for a long time. I mean, I have people that I ran hard with in high school. I ran hard with in the military. I mean, we had some fun and created some memories and got the pictures and clothes and, souvenirs to prove it. But we aren't in touch on a regular basis. And that type of relationship is okay, because I can pick up the phone or they can pick up the phone and we can catch up in one sitting. We'll be on the phone for maybe an hour, 2 hours, and we have caught up for the last 6 months. So, you have to kind of engage the type of relationship, understanding the value, understanding what it is that you all share, and that both of you are willing to make the commitment and to put the time in when it comes time. I have a very dear friend, and I know he didn't think I was going to bring up his name, but I've had him on the show. His name is Ezra. And I'm telling you right now that, we don't live in the same state. There's times that we don't talk on a regular basis. He was telling me today, he said, our relationship is twofold. It's friendship and it's utility. So sometimes we might just talk about business, and then other times we talk about friendship, or they both could intermingle, but it is a constant exchange. And let me tell you something, out of all my friends, he and I don't agree on a lot of stuff. Okay, a lot of stuff. But that is the beauty of our relationship, because we get a chance to hear different perspectives. And I will listen to him, he will listen to me. And at the end, I can't say that I've always kind of stood my ground. Sometimes he brings it. And he was like, and I would say, you know what? I'm with you now. I get what you're saying. I was over here at first, but you made a compelling argument. We on the same page. But and vice versa. We do that for each other. But I feel like we really give each other space to be authentic, to be ourselves, and don't put conditions on each other to be friends. There are times in just regular friendships that you just need a break. I mean, yesterday, not yesterday. Today, so far, it's 7:19. So far, I haven't turned the TV on or the radio on today at my house. And so sometimes I just want to be, with myself, by myself, and enjoy myself, doing whatever projects I have going on, recharge my batteries, because I have to put out and, have conversations here, have conversations there, conducting business. And you just need to kind of sometimes pull back to kind of get yourself recharged. But that doesn't mean that, a real friend will understand the needs of the people that they are in a relationship with. So listen, Audrey, Francis, y'all talk to me. Let me know. Give me some situations where, you met someone and you knew that this right here was getting ready to be a relationship that you had to let go. What are some of the things that are tell signs for you that the relationship has turned a corner, right? Because sometimes, we don't really see it coming, and we could be blindsided by the fact that somebody is now all of a sudden what I call extra crispy. They went from being very social, being very approachable and having conversations and laughing to now, they and their feelings and everything is offensive and I can't believe that. And, and now, they're off doing whatever they're doing. So I just want to know, what is that for you? Because there has to be times where you don't require constant touching, meaning constant conversations on the phone. That's a lot sometimes, depending on the nature of the friendship. So Francis said that, the mindset of the person has changed. Excellent. Hopefully we're always growing. Hopefully we're always evolving. So if we are always growing and evolving and someone doesn't grow and evolve, that kind of creates a broader distance between us. And that can cause you to be able to let someone go. I do see a question there. Let me go ahead and get that. And I think that question says, what are the telltale signs that a relationship is on the edge? Well, honestly, just for me, I just feel like sometimes there's a weird friction. People are evasive where they used to be very responsive to you, whether it's your text message or your phone, that they kind of will not be as responsive as quickly. And so during those times, it makes you wonder, did you get, the word I'm thinking for? Did you get demoted, right? So, you feel like you had a status at one point, in their life, as a level of some kind of a priority. But, now it just feels like, you're an option. You're no longer a priority for them. And so one of the things for me, and, as I get ready to kind of wind this thing down, is I always like to make someone feel like they are valued. In my mind, people want to feel heard. I want to feel heard. I want to feel valued. And so I try to provide that for people that I'm in relationships with. And so that can be on the job, that can be at church, that can be my neighbor who I just talked to outside because he was making a lot of noise. Whoever it is, I want them to feel heard, and I want them to feel valued and not feel like they have to change themselves in order to fit into a little space that I created for them to exist, to be my friend. And so I have one more question here. How do you deal with the fear of letting go, especially if it's a long-term relationship? Honestly, there's people right today that I am still surprised that we're not friends. I would have never thought that I would be at this stage of my life and I wouldn't be friends with them. So it was a death process. I had to grieve the relationship because in my heart, we were just that close. People that knew us, they are still in awe that I haven't heard from this individual in all these years. So to me, it becomes a death grieving process, especially for someone that I've known for a long time, and we, were knitted together. I have a very, very close girlfriend, and there's no way that I would have thought that we wouldn't be friends today, ever. So, so Audrey said, I show up, but give people all the space they need. And if that means they move on, it's on them. basically you give people the space they need. Listen, and I say this all the time. I trust you until you prove to me that I can't. I will give you all the space, all the room that you need. So, trust is definitely important. Listen, this is definitely something I need to come back and deal with. I had fun. I love talking to y'all. I love the village. So, thank you so much for interacting. Thank you, Audrey. Thank you, Francis. Thank you, everyone else that may be in the background or seeing this later. Just remember that silence creates distance, and conversations with Kim builds the village. Talk to you later.